Hello, Petra. Thank you for joining me on this follow-up on your trading game.
Hello, Gabriel. Thank you for the invitation.
Different traders adapt to the future systems to their specific needs. So did you. You're doing many other things apart from trading, and thus you have set up your trading game in a very specific way. You live in London in the UK. You're a former lawyer and now a fiction writer, right? So you're writing books, psychological thriller books, which is quite fascinating. You are trading and working from home. Now,
Mm.
if I would put a label on you, I would say you're the trading newbie. Well, basically a year ago, right, before you attended my workshop. Well, is this true? You have been a trading newbie, right?
Yes, this is true. I had some experience with the Fun Thought Institutes, with the free Monday webinars, and I did the home study course, the peak home study course.
So
So,
you only basically attended the free webinars with Van Tharp, right?
Mhm.
But you
Mhm.
didn't know about investing, buying stocks, ETFs, or even charts.
No, nothing at all.
Okay. Well, you impressed me most with your tremendous growth in trader development and your
Thank
improvements in mental state and in your confidence level. Because you struggled quite a bit, right? Once we had gone through the workshop and then we were learning to apply the systems in the markets. But at some point of time, well, you've done really a tremendous trader development. Is that the same impression you have?
Yeah, absolutely. I was very nervous for a long time. I always thought, I couldn't keep up with a group, or I couldn't understand properly, and I put a lot of pressure onto me. And then with time, I learned more and more to let go of this and work more and more on my mental and emotional state, and that helped me to break through.
So when you let go of the fear and the
Mhm.
resistance, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
great. So tell me, as a newbie, like a year ago, right? We have to talk about a year ago. You've been a newbie. As a newbie, what was your motivation for trading, learning to trade at all?
Well, I got really interested in trading because, as you once said, or often say, trading is 80% psychology, and I'm very interested in psychology. It's basically about mental and emotional control. And that was really important for me because in the Enneagram, which is a psychological profile, I'm a type 4, the artist and the individualist, and we can identify with emotions and we can ride emotional waves that takes us out of presence. So we can lose ourselves in these emotional swings. And trading is a great opportunity, and it's actually an opening to learn how to deal with emotional swings, come back quicker, come back into present moment, and then focus on the task at hand. And that was
Mhm.
very important for me.
Okay, well, I guess this is why you like to write psychological thriller, and
Yes.
you're that good in that, right?
Yeah.
And we're trading psychological patterns, so I'm sure you have got a very good feel for yeah the feeling nature of the buyer and the seller when
Mm.
they're getting trapped in the patterns, right?
Mhm. Yeah, but I had to develop this because it also requires some intuition. And for intuition, we have to be in a very good and relaxed mental state and emotional state, so we can actually open up to intuition. And this is a process I've learned with you over these months. And then with this intuition to actually see what is price telling me.
So what caught your interest joining my workshop?
I've seen you first in the WhatsApp free webinar, and what I immediately liked was your style. I thought you had a very clear approach to trading, a very structured approach to trading, because this is a very complex game. And I straight away liked your patterns, because I think for me your patterns have a clarity, that are refined, and they have a certain aesthetic that really appealed to me. And also what appealed to me was your approach to use deep practice, which I have uh, come across before.
What is the role of trading in your life?
Well, that has actually a couple of roles. I mean, first of all, it will be an additional income, but also it is a job. It's a part-time job, and it's as important as writing. And I treat it as a job and not as a hobby. I turn up and I do what's required. And it's also a teacher. Trading is a teacher for me. I deal with emotional swings and be able to focus better on whatever I have to do in all wakes of life. In both cases, in writing and in trading, I have to leave the ego at the door. And I look at the market, I cannot put any of my thoughts into it. I just have to objectively observe what is price telling me, what can I do with this. And the other thing which is very related is intuition. And we need intuition for trading new systems, and I like working with intuition as a writer.
So you do writing, obviously. You do trading. What else are your interests?
I train Tai Chi, which is very important for me in my life. I've also spent time with my mother. I need to walk in nature to feel grounded, and also spend time with friends. And I also like art.
What do you think is most important?
For me, everything is equally important, and everything has to have time. Every single day, I devote time to all of it in one way or the other.
So how do you fit trading then into all the other things you do?
It took me a while to organize it, but I've got it together. My trading days are Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I keep these days very flexible, and this is very important for my personality because I mustn't get bored. Because if I get bored, I make mistakes. So what I do is I form my days around trading. First of all, I look at the charts in the morning and see if there's anything interesting. Are there any trends? Are there any patterns? If there's nothing there, I leave it and I do something else. I write or I work on psychological things, or I do other things I have to do. And then I open trading platform and see maybe after lunch, is there anything happening? I trade either in the morning or in the afternoon and fit other things around. And my trading day stops on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 6 o'clock, because these are the days when I do Tai Chi in the evenings, and that's it for me then.
So you're basically trading 3 days per week maximum, right?
Yeah,
Tuesday,
maximum.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah. And also when I've achieved weekly target, let's say on a Tuesday, which can be, I still would look at charts on a Wednesday or Thursday, as on both days. I wouldn't take a trade necessarily, but for my pattern library, to increase
To
my
develop
pattern.
as a trader.
Yeah. My development, my trading skills.
Okay. I know that you're trading the very short time frames, the 15-second charts. It could be like on a 15-second chart that you have achieved your weekly hour goal in the first hour trading on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Normally, when I've achieved a trade, I close the charting platform. I want to avoid to get into to take another trade because I'm euphoric, and then maybe I'll come back later another day and have another look. What's happening in the market. Yeah, but I can be done in half an hour. Yeah, depends.
So as a trader, how would you describe your dream life?
My dream life is actually more or less what I do now. I like trading, I like writing, and also for taking it forward, I also would like to write about trading or write about trading psychology. I like, for example, also be away for the summer from London, that I can set up my trading in a warmer country. Maybe Greece. I like Greece a lot. I like swimming, to work from there.
Well, that's a big advantage of being a trader, right? You're really flexible where you live, and especially with these systems and the futures we trade, they basically trade on a 24-hour cycle, and wherever you are, you can trade those. Well, I do the same thing, right? I'm living on different continents. I'm following the summer, basically.
Yeah,
all
you're following the summer. And I try to get away from the summer in London.
Yeah. So after the workshop, we basically dived into deep practicing, right? And the goal of deep practicing is experiencing or achieving exponential skill growth. You achieved that very quickly, right? Maybe after 5 months, right? How did you experience that yourself?
I mean, I experienced it that obviously my confidence grew over time, but also I was very, very nervous with each step, and I got calmer over time. And I could feel that, and also my contributions to the group became of higher quality. I understood more, understood about quality. I could feel just I was much more present, and I pushed less and less, because using force is very counterproductive in trading. It actually doesn't work at all. So I could let things go, and also learned more and more to stay out of the market when I shouldn't be in the market.
You mentioned the group. In my experience, it's a key success factor of being part of a group of like-minded traders.
Yeah, it's absolutely essential. I couldn't have done it with a group, and I still can't do it with a group. We meet twice a week, and I'm active on the blog. And it is a process. We can only understand in steps. It's not just a support, but it's, for me, the support gives also hope, because whatever problem I have, another trader has. And it's just a tremendous help when you sit there and you exchange your ideas or your downs. And we all help each other, and that's amazing.
You had some major breakthroughs in mental state and
Mhm.
confidence, where you struggled a bit, right? These breakthroughs, what impact did they have on your trading success?
Well, they had a huge impact when we started really working on mental state and emotional state more. And I could see I took less trades. I stayed more out of the market, or left the market when I wasn't in a good place. My trades get better quality, and I also had more fun. It was very, because I was pushing so very hard, and trading should be fun, because then when it's fun, then we are in a flow state, and it's so nice, and it's much easier. But we have to learn this. I always think, tension is in the norm, but we have to work on softness and on openness.
You mentioned that you're trading the 15-second charts, right? Well, that is quite amazing for a newbie, because the lower the time frame you trade, the more difficult it is, right? So how was that? You didn't start out trading the 15-second chart. So how was that, approaching this low time frame that actually fits your trading game?
I was very scared because price moved so fast, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to, how am I going to do this? And you helped me tremendously with that. That was a very individual, how gave me an advice. And first of all, we found a belief, and a useful belief, that said the 15-second chart is risky for me, so that I'm actually aware that I can FOMO, or I can slip. So I always have that in mind, that I have to be in a good mental state. And the other thing you advised me on is just to watch it for some time, get a feel. And that's what I did for some week. I watched it. I see, how does the pattern develops? How do the pullbacks work? How fast is it? And then I started slowly. I only took a pattern when you said only take a pattern when you have time to write at least 3 or 4 positives or negatives about a trade.
When I think about your trading game, you've got many interests, right? You're trading the very short time frames. Your goal basically is to reach your weekly R goal like early in the week, ideally on Tuesday, and then you're basically done, and then you continue looking at the markets for your trader growth. I would describe it as a hit and run trading game. Like when you hit your weekly R goal, or you're basically done.
Yeah,
You're not looking to go for the moon, right?
no,
Achieving like hundreds of Rs per week. You
no.
want to achieve your weekly R goal as consistent as possible. So then you have more time to do the other things that are equally important to you.
Yeah, that's very important for me. And also very important for me is working on my psychology, and on my spiritual growth. And so trading is one part of the coin, one part of it, but absolutely right. Yeah. I need some freedom. I don't want to get bored. I don't want to be stuck with one thing. I want to have an interesting day or an interesting week. And that means I do what's just interesting for me in that moment.
Yeah. Well, great traders are happy people, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely, because we can only trade when we are balanced. That is actually my ideal, to be balanced. Yeah.
Okay. So what of the three systems do you like most?
I like most the S2, the turtle, because it's an harmonic shape, and that just suits me.
Let's have a look at that so people get
Sure.
an idea of what you're actually doing or how these patterns look like. Yeah, so this is your trade log, right? You have traded these three futures contract, natural gas long, crude oil long, and the Nasdaq short. All those on a 15-second charts. So three trades, more or less 7 hour, and that was a 100% win rate. Into the screenshot, this is the entry point. Pattern formed on the 15-second chart, 1 minute, higher time frames, 5 minute and 15 minute. We need a trend, which we have, and then we've got a pattern.
Because it's very harmonic. It is a rounded shape, which is crucial for S2 or the turtle pattern. And when you look towards the end of the pattern, price tested through times the same level.
Price nicely bounced off the midline. This is the exact moment of your entry when you took the screenshot, and your stop basically goes here, right? Which is below this, all this side, this small sideways price action, and that basically means that your stop is really nicely protected.
Well, what I liked about the mid frame is that the EMAs are squeezed together. That means there's a lot of energy stored.
And that's a great stop run level, right?
There are actually two stop run levels here.
If you break that level, well, we can expect some very good follow through. You should see a nice push higher, right? Which is in line with the trend in one time frame higher and even 2 time frames higher. Well, by the way, we've got another pattern here, right?
And there's also a pattern in the mid frame, another S2, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So this is how it developed. So this was your entry, right? It didn't go off immediately. We see here that's the stop run move. And here was another consolidation, right?
Yeah, this is an S2 in one time frame lower in the 5-second charts. There's another S2 also in a 5-second chart. The consolidation after the stop run move, and then there is another consolidation which is an S1, one time frame lower, and you can actually build a pyramid with this. The pattern reached 4R. I got stopped out for 2.8R, which reached weekly target.
Well, in hindsight, we can actually see that this was an unlucky stop out, right? You were basically stopped out by a tick, and then it went off, right? Great, you achieved your weekly R goal with this one trade.
Took about 30 or 35 minutes.
So did you take these trades in a low time frame?
No, I didn't at that time, trading the live markets for 1 month, and it was too fast for me. So I didn't take it at that time, but I marked them. As you develop as a trader, you then will be able to scale in.
To a 5-second chart and actually adds to this position, right? Trade this one and even trade this one, and in that way build a pyramid of 3 trades. Or you could have achieved with this very first trade an even much higher result if you were not stopped out unluckily, right?
Yeah.
But things like that happen, and the most important thing is to meet your weekly R goal.
My goal is not to reach many hours, but consistency. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you for bringing this trade example.
Thank you for discussing it.
A nice trade.
Thank you.
What recommendation would you give to somebody who starts out?
To learn the systems, to study the systems, to make them your own, apply deep practice, learning how to execute them well, and approach the live market slowly, because they are very confusing at the beginning. Things step by step, and then work on mental and emotional balance.
How was that starting out with a simulator?
That was at the beginning also very difficult. I've never done simulation in my life, so I was very, very slow. It took me hours at the beginning to find my way around, and then I was actually really surprised. We apply deep practice, which means we slow down the process of trading, we chunk it up. We learn each chunk, we eliminate mistakes, and then we put it all together. And after 6 weeks, I was actually building pyramids. So that was really slowing down in order to speed up.
Yeah, well, it's quite amazing to hear from you that after 6 weeks you were able to build
amazing.
pyramids. Because building pyramids takes quite some experience, but most of all confidence, right?
Yeah, that was really amazing that, doing it, basically simulating it and seeing the results, and also studying other students' trades. I didn't only look at my trades, so I also simulated other students' trades and see how they did it. That really contributed massively to my trader growth.
Okay, great. Well, you're doing fantastic. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you for your help. With your help.
Thank you for sharing your wisdom here.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.